Hello and welcome to It Came From the Pod, where we talk everything horror. We bring you the good, the bad, and the gory. I'm your host from the coast, Derek T. Jackson, and with me, as always, is my brother, J. Jules Jackson.
Well, hello and good morning, everyone.
Hello, people, and today we are talking about Maniac Cop from 1988, directed by William Lustig, or Lustig. Not sure. That's
Strong
Lustig.
German name right there. Yes, we love it.
All right. So usually what we like to do is we do what's in a name, okay, if it's applicable to the movie. So what that is basically I come to you, I have 2 movie tickets. You've never seen a trailer, you've never seen a movie ticket. I say, hey, let's go see Maniac Cop. What would you expect from that title, Maniac Cop? What's in a name?
Well, first of all, I would expect that it would be a direct-to-DVD kind of movie. Like, why do you have 2 movie theater tickets for it? But whatever. If you gave me Maniac Cop and you said I have 2 tickets for it and I've never seen a trailer or a movie poster, I would think that it's about 3 old women in a small town where they learn to live, love, and laugh, and share life stories. Maybe one has cancer. What do you think?
What do you think of Maniac Cop? When does the cop come into play?
Who knows? Who knows? In one of the stories, maybe.
Okay, so that's what I feel like when I hear Maniac Cop, I think of something starring Robert De Niro. And he's like lost his mind, working his beat way too long in the streets of New York as a cop, and just starts taking matters into his own hands. And he's slamming punks into walls and doing the De Niro face all up close to him as he's choking him out.
But how many times has Robert De Niro played an actual Maniac Cop? That's actually good. That's actually, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yours sounds like Steel Magnolias.
It was. That's actually the synopsis of Steel Magnolias is actually what it is. So I wanted to go into this movie because I'm the one that picked this movie because, Derek, you know I love schlocky movies. And I love schlocky movies.
And for the listeners, just so you guys know, my favorite horror movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, and yours is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That shows you where we're at. We're on different ends of the spectrum here, but we always meet in the middle. And so
when I saw that Cohen and Kaufman were actually doing this movie, I expected something far out and crazy because I mean these people have done Toxic Avenger, they did Class of Nukem High, they did all kinds of crazy movies, Tromeo and Juliet. And if you ever watched any Kaufman movies, you know they're like balls to the wall nuts. So when I heard Maniac Cop and Kaufman and Cohen doing it, I expected like an escaped mental patient who dresses as a Disney princess in a pink cop uniform, menacing the streets of New York. That's what I expected.
Right, but what we get, because you said, hey, we're doing Maniac Cop. This was your pick once. Right. And I said, all right, I watched the trailer. And the trailer does this movie no justice.
It does no justice.
Because all it does is like, here's the schlock. Here's a bunch of fucking
horror,
like B-movie fucking horror schlock. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, at least we'll have fun making fun of it. But then when you go and watch it, I was surprised at how good it was. The badass kills in it. The storyline's cool. The acting's great. The scenery's good. I loved it all. I was surprised at how good it was.
And they should actually call this movie "Badass Motherfuckers" because who's in this movie?
Oh, because
who's in this movie?
We got Tom Atkins,
Halloween 3, Tom Atkins. Okay, we have, who else do we have?
Bruce motherfucking Campbell, which I think is just given birth, that's his birth name is Bruce motherfucking Campbell.
Yeah, Evil Dead, Bruce motherfucking Campbell. Then we have Richard Roundtree, original Shaft.
The original Shaft.
And then Robert Zadar. So I was looking up Robert Zadar, and he's like a B-movie legend, right? He has done all these B movies. He always plays the antagonist because he has cherubism, which is like... if you look at him, you think he had some bad plastic surgery done, but it's actually a medical condition where he has an enlarged jawline. So,
okay.
But this guy, let me tell you how badass this guy. This guy was actually a real cop. a Chippendale dancer.
A real cop.
A real cop.
And now he's playing
A real cop, and not even like in some small town real cop, like a real cop, like he was in Chicago real cops. He also was a Chippendale dancer. Okay.
nice.
And my favorite, he wrote jingles for commercials. I love that part. I love
Dude,
that.
as a person that listens to a lot of fucking radio, I don't mind commercials. I actually grade and judge commercials when I'm listening to them. That's a good one. Or jingles and stuff. So that's cool. Like that's near and dear to my heart.
Exactly. So you have badass motherfuckers doing badass motherfucking things in this movie.
All right. So we open up with our Maniac Cop getting ready. So it's just close-ups of him, putting his uniform on. So he'll put his hat on, he'll put the belt on. You never see his face. But what I love about this shit is it's just music. You hear no sound coming from the cop at all.
Right. Just
It's just a score.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I love about this is every time he puts, like, let's say he puts his belt on, did you get a still shot? And then like an actor's name, which is so fucking cheesy in 80s. It's awesome. Then like he goes to put his cap or cover on, as you would call it. And when he puts it on, it's a still shot and then like an actor's name. And that's really cool. So every and then he puts on these white gloves.
Okay, so the white gloves, they get me every time because I don't know what cops going out in New York City with white gloves.
Cloth gloves.
Cloth white gloves. But I tell you what, Derek, I'd rather eat a ketchup popsicle on a hot summer July day in white gloves than wear white gloves in New York City.
New York City,
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But you know what's funny? What they did with this scene, what I love about this scene is they were kind of like doing some guerrilla shooting, so they weren't really union. So when the unions found out that they were shooting, whether it would be inside or outside, so if it was inside, they circled the building with the loud motorcycle. So that's why you get this intro where him just getting dressed up with no sound
It's
and
just a score.
Yeah, because they didn't need the sound. So they're like, besides there was a motorcycle.
Imagine that.
I know.
He's
like,
getting the uniform on. He's like, he's fucking.
He was
Does he
being-
hear
yeah.
the motorcycle outside? He's like, son of a bitch.
being
Here's my
sabotaged the whole
badge.
time.
Yeah. But it is a
So,
cool shot, man. Like
it's-
everything he puts on, these still shot, and then like an actor's name. It's really cool.
That's a great shot. Yeah. We have our first scene where a bartender is leaving a dive bar where she kind of gets harassed by one of the patrons that's frequent there, I'm assuming. And they're like, hey, let me give you a ride home. And she's like, no, I'd rather take my chances with a 1988 New York mugger.
Yeah, I'd rather take my chances in the streets of New York.
Yeah, than with you. How much do you hate your job where you rather take your chances at night, you're leaving at night in the streets of New York in 1988, than get a ride with one of the patrons there offering you a ride?
So now we get she's leaving the bar
Right.
by herself, and I have to stop because I fucking love and adore 80s New York shots, even 70s ones too, but specifically 80s New York shots where you still see the World Trade Center and shit. I just love it. It's grimy, it's dingy. Imagine that as a director too. You don't even have to do anything. You just turn the camera on. The scenes are already there.
Yeah,
So I absolutely loved 80s shots of New York. So she's leaving, and then we see these two muggers. They eye her, and obviously they start following her. They assault her right away. Remember, one's hiding in a staircase.
hiding down in a stairwell and grabs her by the ankle.
Grabs her by the ankle, and she doesn't even waste any time. She just starts swinging her purse.
Oh my God. She is a badass in this movie. Like, she keeps like
As if this wasn't her first mugging attack. Right.
That was gonna be my
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
What the fuck was in that purse? When she hits him with the purse,
But it took out two gangsters, whatever was in that purse, because she was using that purse as a weapon, and it was pretty effective.
and I don't remember completely, but I think it's like one hit each. She went boom, swung it, boom, and they both just dropped. And she runs away, and it gives her enough time to run away.
Now, my thing is here, you just got hit in the purse. Two of you
that had a brick in it.
Two of you tried to take her on, and you didn't succeed.
I'm letting her go.
Let her go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let her go. What did these geniuses do? They follow her. They chase after her. And she's running, and she actually runs I don't know what this is, like kind of like a park. I want to
Like a little playground.
like a little playground type thing. I don't know what it is. Something under construction, and then she sees a cop.
Oh, hold on, before you get to that.
Yeah.
She's running on that playground or where the hell it is. For the city that never sleeps, they were awfully tired that night. Because there was nobody else. She was in Ohio. Like, there was nobody else there. I was like, what the fuck?
Her shift maybe ended at like 10, 11. You know, it's not like it's so 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was pretty dead on these streets of New York. And that's one of the things that kind of make me suspend my reality for these scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, wait, it's New York. There's always fucking people on New York. It doesn't matter what time.
You suspend your disbelief in movies all the time.
All the time. And so she finds somebody finally, and it happens to be a cop in white gloves. And he's a towering like 6'6" or whatever. And she runs up to him. She's like, oh, thank God you're here. These two people were trying to mug me. And I'm glad you're here. They're over there. I need your help.
And they're like hiding behind one of the playground equipment things. And they're just looking over like, oh, shit.
They don't even run either direction.
They're like, oh, there's a cop. Oh, there's a cop. See what's going to happen.
They sit and be like, oh, let's see what happens. Like, who does that?
Yeah, so they're peering over the little equipment, whatever the hell it was, the little playground set, whatever the hell it was, and then what does he do? What does the cop do?
So this cop, you're thinking, I'm safe. I found a cop. Everything's gonna be peachy keen. Instead, he lifts her up by her neck at least 4 feet into the air.
And the buggers are watching.
Buggers are watching this.
They look horrified.
They're like, oh my God. The fear on their faces. They're like, holy shit, what is going on?
Which is really cool when you think about it. Like for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because you're going, oh, she found a cop. And to make the muggers scared.
To make the muggers scared, yeah. Because these are like, hey, we were just going to rob her.
Yeah.
You know, and here's this guy.
Oh, you guys are scary? Yeah.
Yeah. Picks her up 4 feet off of the ground, kind of shakes her neck a little bit, and then throws her. That's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. It goes over here.
Picks her up and like just shakes her to the point, like kind of breaks her neck instantly, right? And then just throws her to the side.
It throws her to the side, and the mugger's face, they kind of like grimace, and they're like, oh, that's messed up. That's some fucked up shit we just saw.
I just wanted your purse.
So now we are introduced to Tom Atkins, who's Officer Frank McRae.
Frank McRae.
He's actually going to an autopsy of the murder we just watched right now from Maniac Cop. Tom Atkins, the creep. Tom Atkins, the dad from Creepshow. Tom Atkins from motherfucking Halloween 3.
From Halloween 3.
And you know what? If you don't like Halloween 3, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you in your face.
I'm so sick of these people that it's not Michael Myers. And it's, first of all,
I know. You know what? And that's the thing. If you don't like Halloween 3, I hope you buy a new pair of shoes and step in dog shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do you one better. If you don't like Halloween 3, I hope you come home and find your spouse fucking somebody else in your child's bedroom.
Oh, my God. Not my child's bedroom.
Yeah. In your child's bedroom, right on top of that race car bed. Just pow, pow, pow if you don't like Halloween 3. So sick of that shit.
Imagine walking in, it's like, only if I like Halloween 3, that's what it is.
Halloween 3 is a standalone movie. It's so fucking good and original and cool, dude. Like, if people, you didn't follow Michael Myers. Well, if you know anything, Halloween was supposed to be just every year, John Carpenter, there was going to be a different story under the Halloween.
Right. It was going to be an anthology. We were going to get so many different things, and instead, and I mean, I get it. Michael Myers is an iconic.
He's one of my favorites.
And people love him, and I get it. But just think in another reality what could have been, you know?
I know.
And that's what I miss.
But it's because everybody
could have had something different every Halloween. That would have been cool.
But everybody liked Michael Myers so much. Right. And John Carpenter actually had to drink just to write part 2. And I respect him because he's in an interview saying, look, if you give me enough money, I'll do anything. Well, I fucking respect that. Just the honesty.
So now we are in the autopsy room. And we have Tom Atkins there talking with the doctor. And basically the coroner says her larynx was crushed and her head had popped off. And Tom Atkins, who can make a snowman out of rainwater, he's not buying that these gang members did this to this poor girl.
Yeah.
One of the things I like, Derek, about this doctor, this coroner, is his mullet.
Yeah.
I love his mullet.
Yeah.
It's fire. It's absolute fire.
It's something we can't explain either in words. You have to just go watch this shit.
Can you imagine if you went to a doctor and he had a mullet? Like, what would go through your mind?
I don't know. I don't know if I would trust him.
Well, to me, I'm like, man, obviously he's all business in the front, but he is like, I'm going to give out blow and drink Coors Light in the bar bathroom in the back, dude. I'm telling you, that's his hair.
Or maybe he's so good at being a doctor that he's just bored. Like, I don't have to look like a doctor. I'm so good at it. I'm just going to I'm just draw this fucking mullet, dude.
And you know what? My hat is off to this guy. This guy's hair, his mullet, delicious.
Yeah, it looks good. So, after the amazing mullet, we cut to two teens drinking and driving. And I just got to say, this is in a lot of horror movies. And even horror TV shows. I like how horror makes you dislike people. So when you see them get killed, you're like, whatever, they were drinking and driving and having fun. So it's cool that they're dead.
But I really hurt anybody. They're drinking and driving. The streets are empty in this New York City. They're driving. They're having a good time. I mean, yes, don't ever drink.
Don't drink and drive. I'm not condone that.
Never saying don't know that's dangerous. Don't do that. But in horror movies,
they always do that quickly. Like, you don't care. Look at she's dressed scantily.
Yeah.
So who cares if she gets killed?
Yeah. Is the punishment death?
Right.
Yeah,
but it's like, I wanted to point that out how horror movies do that. So so we got these two teens drinking and driving, and they get pulled over.
So Maniac Cop, and he doesn't talk. Maniac Cop doesn't talk. In fact,
it's almost like a mime.
He just takes his fingers and says, "Come here," to the guy in the car.
Yeah, goes up to the window
and then walks in front of the car. And he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
And he does this thing with his baton. So he's not facing the car, so you don't see his face.
You don't see his face.
He's facing away from so that he calls him to the front of the car. He's facing away from it, but then he does this thing with his baton, like he twirls it and then points at the ground. Like, stand here.
He said, stand here.
It's almost like a dance move.
And the guy, and to be honest with you, if a cop never talked to me and was like just saying, "Come here," and point, I'm not going to get out. I'm going to drive away.
It's kind of creepy. And I like how he goes, "Oh man, come on, my insurance is going to go up."
You're worried about that, buddy.
Yeah.
You're not going to. That's something I would freak out about.
As I'm getting older and older, I just worry about money all the time. Oh, my insurance is going to go through the roof.
Oh, go through the roof, which is funny because
he's going to go through something else.
He's going to go through something else. What is that? Like a knife that comes out, or like a tiny sword comes out of his baton?
Imagine like a giant dagger.
Yeah, a giant type dagger
in a sheath.
Slashes the poor kid's face twice. And then throws him at the windshield.
And throws him. And the throw looks funny. You could tell like the guy was on a string or something. Yeah. Smashes into the windshield.
And the girl, God bless her, panics,
jumps in the driver's seat,
and leaves. Doesn't check to see if her boyfriend made it or if he's gonna be okay. She's like, "Deuces, I'm out
of here." And she turns the windshield wipers on, so you get a really cool fucking shot, which I love, of broken windshield glass, because he doesn't go through the windshield, but
he hits it pretty hard.
It's shattered, and you see the windshield wipers going over the blood on a broken windshield, which is a really cool shot, right?
Yeah, that was creepy. Really good.
And it reminds me of Scream. Remember when the cameraman gets killed?
Yeah,
and he falls to the front of the in front of the van, and then Gale Weathers turns on the windshield wipers in the blood. Yeah, so it's wonder if Scream was a nod to that. Probably not.
Yeah, who knows? I doubt anybody's watching.
But it's a cool fucking shot though. And then she drives off, right?
And then she drives off. And then we got the end of that scene.
All right, so now we got Frank McRae. Tom Atkins is meeting with the commissioner.
And the commissioner,
Richard Roundtree,
is shocked. I love these two guys. Like, these guys doing this scene together is great.
Yeah, they ping pong back and forth off each other really good with their acting. And basically he's saying, "Hey, I think it's a cop." I think it's a cop inside the precinct here. And he, obviously the commissioner does what you would expect him to do.
Yeah,
Probably what I would do too.
Why would you think it's a cop? Because these two gangsters say, what makes it a cop? And he says, besides someone dressing up as a cop, like what's the difference?
And he goes, what do you want me to do? Start giving every damn cop a mental test here, and and then he brings up the fact, this was kind of cold. The commissioner goes, well, didn't you attempt suicide not too long ago? Ow, when's the last time you had a mental test? Oh, which is good.
Man, I know.
Good.
Damn, dog. I'm just trying to solve some cases. I'm trying to solve some murders, man.
But Tom Atkins, who makes snowmen out of rainwater, not enough.
No, it's not enough.
He shrugs it off.
Bigger man than I am, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it with that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Which brings us to our next kill, probably my favorite kill of the movie, honestly.
Yeah, this poor guy, he really gets it.
And it's just some random guy.
Yeah, not even like a main character or nothing, just some random guy off the street.
Walks to his car, and as he's opening his door, Maniac Cop just rolls up on him and just like slams him against the car, and then it starts handcuffing him. And you're going, hey, wait a minute, this is my car. Because, you're thinking if a cop's assaulting you, maybe he thinks I'm stealing the car. He's like, wait a minute, no, this is my car. So he handcuffs him, hands behind his back, and then roughs him up against the car. And then he pulls out that big dagger, as we're calling it, out of the sheet.
Dagger out of the baton, yeah.
And the dude just starts running away, running for his life. And what makes this kill really good is not just the kill itself, but just this guy himself.
His desperation in his acting, trying to escape this maniac cop.
He did a good job.
It's really good. You're like
scared. Yeah.
You're kind of sad for him. You're like,
you are.
Oh, dang.
So he's running with this. Remember, he's handcuffed, hands behind his back, and he's running. He's going, help, somebody help. And there's one part, this is the part which really shows the desperation, where he goes into this elevator, and since he's handcuffed, he just starts hitting the buttons with his nose. Right. Just ran like, come on, please, somebody help. And that's kind of the saddest part of it right there. Like, oh, poor guy. And he's trying to push the buttons, and he gets up and he runs and he trips. He gets back to the sidewalk, runs, and he trips and falls face down into wet cement.
Right, where Maniac Cop grabs him by the back of his head
and just shoves his head down.
After that,
suffocates him in wet cement. I think that's worse than water, wouldn't it be? For some reason,
yeah. Can you imagine trying to breathe wet cement? That's the worst.
Drown me in water over wet cement.
Set me on fire. Don't let me breathe wet cement, man.
So drowns him in the wet cement,
and the next scene is a guy with a jackhammer trying to jackhammer.
Two guys are jackhammering because the cement's dry by then.
Right.
And so they show the corpse with the head in the cement.
Getting jackhammered out by two construction workers while a cop is in the background stirring his coffee like, just another day in 1988 New York, some guy drowned in wet cement.
Yeah, I did a double take on that. I was like, that guy's just stirring his fucking coffee. Well, it's the 80s in New York. That's nothing.
Yeah, if you ever saw a man handcuffed with his hands behind his back and his face down in wet cement or like dried cement at this time, I don't know. That's crazy to me. I wouldn't be stirring my coffee. I'd be freaking out.
Imagine you're one of those jackhammer worker guys. You go home, hey, honey, how was your day? Well, I had a...
And where's your reporters at? Because you expect to see a bunch of reporters. And, reporters probably showed up and like, oh, this is it.
No, I'm sure they had their hands full. In New York, they had their hands full. There was probably something worse than that, actually.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is it.
But yeah, that's pretty gruesome. Again, the desperation of that guy, the good job that guy acting, running away from Maniac Cop. Good job.
In our next scene, we get the lovable Tom Atkins. And Tom Atkins, who can win a singing contest by using sign language, he's sitting down with the reporter. And Tom Atkins wants to do the right thing here. So he's giving the reporter the information. I need you to go. I need you to say on the news that there's this maniac cop killing people. I need you to warn people so they stay safe. And the reporter pretty much says,
hey, that's fine. I'll do this. But, once I do that, that's it. Like, there's no coming back from that.
Right. There's no coming back. So here we got the Commissioner Shaft saying, let's keep a lid on things. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it within department. No reporters. we're going to handle this eternally.
Right. Let's keep it quiet and try to figure it out.
And then you got Tom Atkins, who was like going behind the commissioner's back, giving the information to a reporter to keep the people safe.
So, I mean, who's causing more harm at this point? Is it Officer Frank McRae, Tom Atkins, or is it Richard Roundtree, the commissioner?
Okay, so you want more transparency from your local police department, right? I mean, that's what everyone always craves. We want more transparency. But Shaft was kind of right. Shaft was right. I mean, he was like, hey, if we put this out, New Yorkers are going to flip. They're going to go crazy. We're going to have more problems on our hand than what we normally would have with just messing with Maniac Cop. And Tom Atkins, wanting to do the right thing, wants to warn these
He just wants to stop the killer.
He wants to stop the killer. He's trying to keep people safe. And he ended up doing more harm than good, because the next scene after that was a woman pulled over, a cop come up behind her. I think her car stalled out.
Yeah, it was just a basic traffic stop.
Just a basic traffic stop. And he wasn't even stopping her. She was just pulled over, and he was going to see to help her. The cop just came to help her, and she has the news blaring on her radio where this maniac cop is killing innocent people. And she pulls out a gun because it's 1988 New York. She has a gun in her purse. She pulls it out and she says, "You're not going to get me." And she shoots the cop.
Yeah, and they show it.
Oh,
it's pretty graphic. Yeah,
he gets blown back. I don't know what kind of hand cannon she was carrying, but that guy,
as rappers say, he got his wig pushed back.
Oh yeah, this was some 80s action movie shit that was happening. Bam, and he flies back. I thought I was watching RoboCop. I'm like, whoa, yeah, what was that?
Love RoboCop.
Yeah, and so we have that there. Because Tom Atkins wanted to warn the people, ended up causing more harm than good. I mean, should we have the transparency, or do we act like idiots?
And I think, doesn't it start showing, is this where they show the montage on the TV in the bar where it's showing people going, man, if a cop stops you, you better run for your life. And it's just stopping the common folk in the city and asking them a question about cops. And everybody's pretty much, the narrative is, hey, man, don't trust any cops right now. And one lady's like, if I see a cop, I cross the street. So that's what Frank McRae, Tom Atkins, caused by having this reporter say that on her segment.
And Tom Atkins is trying to do the right thing, and I get what he's trying to do. And in all actuality, this is the part of the movie that I feel is real. People get scared and then they do stupid stuff, and you're going to have a riot on your hands. You're going to have people now start afraid of the cops, killing cops, whatever. I mean, which is pretty much today in 2023. But regardless of the fact, is this movie has a relevancy in 1988 that it still holds true today.
Yeah, like that's pretty much how it would go down, the way it goes down in the movie. And it gives the movie a lot of credibility, in my opinion, because you go, wow, like it's not just like a maniac cop killing people. Now we got a real situation which probably would have unfolded this way.
Right. Exactly.
So they got to give the movie its credit for doing that. And they did it well.
They did it well. Well written. Well written.
So now we are finally, kind of comes in late, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Bruce motherfucking Campbell, Ash from Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell, the man who, if you came home and found him banging your wife, you'd not even interrupt. You'd wait for them to finish. And then when he was done, you'd say, Mr. Campbell, was that okay? Was she good for you? Did she seem like she was into it? Or like, because I could talk to her, Mr. Campbell.
And your significant other, if she didn't treat Mr. Campbell pretty well.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell, who's so cold, who can make a tray of ice cubes in the oven.
Yeah. So obviously, Bruce Campbell finally introduced to him, and it's him basically. He's a cop. He's got
Jack Forrester.
Jack Forrest, right? Jack Forrest.
Jack Forrest. Yeah.
And he's basically just getting ready for work, and he's talking to his wife like, "Oh, I got," and she's like, "Another late night."
Yeah, she's on him. She's like, "What's going on?" And he pretty much is just kind of blowing her off a little bit.
And they talk about the fact that they're going to marriage counseling, and so obviously the marriage is on the rocks.
Right, definitely on the rocks. There are some few subtle nuances going on between the argument. Bruce Campbell tries to comfort her, say, "Hey, we're going to touch her, and we're going to get through this." And she pulls away. it hits close to home. It looks like a real argument.
Yeah, I'm married. You're married. We're both married.
We're both married.
So
yeah.
that's the thing. When you're watching this, it felt like a real argument. It
Right.
felt real. The way they did this.
It felt real. And we're going to get into a discussion here a little bit. So we're going to kind of spoil things here now.
Yeah, because she's getting phone calls.
She's getting phone calls from a police officer Nolan.
Who mostly works in the archives.
Right.
She works in the archives of the police department. Yeah.
And she's called the Den Mother, I think. And it turns out Bruce Campbell is actually having an affair.
Yeah, he's having an affair with Officer Mallory.
And
who is played by, hold on, we got it here. Teresa Mallory by
Charisse North.
What is it? Lawrence London? I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence London. So
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so let's just spoil this part right here because we have to in order to have
this discussion. Yeah.
So she's worried that he could be the Maniac Cop, right?
Right, because she's getting phone calls from the Officer Nolan saying that your husband's out here doing these killings. He's the Maniac Cop. And it turns out Officer Nolan is connected with the real Maniac Cop, who is Matt Cordell.
And that's why this movie's good.
And that's why this is
such a cool little.
So you have this couple fighting. You have this officer who's the brains behind all these killings, and she's gonna set up Bruce Campbell. She's gonna frame him for the Maniac Cop killings, and by doing so, she's feeding Bruce Campbell's wife a bunch of lies that he's out here killing. When the truth is pretty normal thing for a marriage. Not normal, but for a marriage that's on the rocks.
It happens on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. It's just an affair.
And so Officer Mallory confided in Officer Nolan. So Officer Mallory's the girl that Bruce Campbell's banging on the side.
Right.
She confided in Officer Nolan, who's the brains behind the whole Maniac Cop thing, and said, "Hey, I'm having this affair."
Right.
And she goes, "Oh, perfect. I could just pin all this on
all the killings
on Jack Forrest, Bruce
Campbell's character." And in the meantime, so
it's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, she's feeding this false information to poor Bruce Campbell's wife, and she's taking it seriously to the point that she's actually keeping a scrapbook of all the killings that have been happening.
And so the argument kind of plays out, and he's like, "Look, I gotta go to work, blah blah blah," and he leaves.
Deuces, yeah.
I gotta go to work. She grabs a gun and then proceeds to follow him, right?
Well, she gets another phone call first.
Oh, right. Okay.
She gets a phone call from Officer Nolan saying that he's got to do it. He's going to come out and kill again and da-da-da-da. And
little lets you know he's just cheating.
And you can see that she's frightened. She's fierce. She's still in love with Bruce Campbell. All this and her facial expressions. She's a really good actress for me. I like what she did. And so she grabs a gun and she's like, "I'm going to follow this guy. I'm going to follow my husband." And she follows him to my favorite hotel,
the Budget Inn. I wonder if Budget Inn was mad about it. Like, "Hey, come on."
I'm like, for your affair.
The Budget Inn.
The Budget Inn, where you have all your affairs.
No HBO because we know you're just fucking.
Are you a drug dealer? Are you having an affair? This is the hotel for you.
Want to go on a 4-day meth binge? Budget Inn.
Budget Inn.
So, yeah, so she follows him. You see him go into a hotel room.
And she gets into the hotel room, she goes to the counter and they just let her in. They're like, "Here you go, here's the key," whatever, which is scary in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But then she walks in and she sees all the clothes laid out. There's 2 pairs of officer clothes. There's 2.
His big hotel room.
There's 2. Yeah, and it looks like a small apartment.
It was 88. We had space, baby.
Budget Inn was really, man, they're laying it down at the Budget Inn. I'm telling you,
a lot of bang for your buck.
You can bang for your buck. And she walks in.
Emphasis on the bang.
On Bruce Campbell and Officer Mallory
just going
in bed together. Yeah. And she has the gun and she pulls it out. And I want to see
his response. He rolls because he's on top of her or whatever. He rolls over and he looks at her. And instead of like, "Oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry," he just goes,
"I want you to find out this way or something."
What the fuck does he say? Why did you follow me?
This is your fault.
Why did you follow me? Damn it, look what you've done.
Campbell's wife, there's a sense of relief that he's not the maniac cop, but then she's like, what the
God.
fuck? You're cheating on me?
Imagine the flood of emotion.
Oh my God. Like, and she has a gun.
And Officer Mallory, the homewrecker, is just like, just let her
go.
let her
She
vent,
has a gun.
let her vent, like let her say what she has to say, like
And let her
stop
go.
down.
And she leaves.
No remorse, those two, by the way,
remorse from whatsoever.
from
And
Bruce
we'll
Campbell.
find out more about that in the movie.
Yeah,
As the movie goes
we'll
on.
touch on that a little.
We'll touch on that a little bit more. And then she leaves, and she's kind of relieved that, okay, he's not the maniac cop. Great. This motherfucker is cheating on me.
God.
And then she gets swiped into a van. Yep. And that's how that ends. That's how the fucked up that scene ends.
Oh, she gets pulled into a van?
Can you imagine? Your husband's a maniac cop. He's killing all these people. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to take this gun. No, he's not the maniac cop. He's just having an affair.
Whore. Yeah.
He's just a cheating whore. I'm walking back home in 1988 New York, and then you get caught up and thrown in a van.
Wow.
God, what a bad day. Talk about bad days. Not only that, her day gets way worse. She ends up with her throat slit on the bed that her husband was having an affair on. And it's crazy. The maid walks in. She sees all the mess.
Yeah, she takes a look around and she says, must have partied up good in here.
Must have partied up good. And that's the budget in for it.
That's what you do at the
budget in. Partied up good.
Yep.
Yep.
So now we cut to a scene where the cops are getting their morning briefing, and Bruce Campbell's pulled away. Jack Forrest is pulled away by Captain Ripley, played by William Smith, who has an awesome voice.
I love this guy's voice. It's so deep and so gruff.
Yeah.
Like, I've been a New York cop since I was 4. I've been smoking since I was 6.
And he basically tells him,
we found your wife, her throat slit from ear to ear.
and he does the hand gesture.
Does the hand gesture.
Like from ear to ear. Yeah, he does a throat slit gesture.
And his reaction, what do you think? What did you think of of Bruce Campbell's, of Jack Forrest's reaction to him finding out his wife was murdered?
Okay, so first of all, shocking. Yeah, I expected Bruce Campbell to be on his knees, prostrated, crying, something. But to be honest, I've seen people get more upset losing change in a vending machine than him losing his wife.
He reacts like he just lost fantasy football that week or something.
Yeah.
So and he's like, well, no, it can't be. And he goes,
You want to see the pretty pictures?
I see the pretty pictures.
which is a cool line.
Yeah. And Jack is basically just, I don't know if he's in shock or dumbfounded or just plain doesn't care. Either way, the response doesn't make him look good.
Yeah, not at all.
Because they bring forth evidence, and it turns out they have his wife's diary.
Right, they bring in the
And
diary.
the diary says that
clippings.
she feels that in the diary, like, oh, he might be the maniac cop. And then she also has clippings, kind of like a collage of clippings of all the maniac cop killings. And so the evidence is now starting to stack up against old Brucey boy.
Right, and the cops in this movie aren't, I mean, from the get-go, they were never, like, trying to get to the bottom of anything. They're very on the
I don't
surface.
think,
Like,
yeah.
that's it, got it, case closed.
So Bruce Campbell's done. All right, maniac cop, he's it. That's it. And
Then we're in that interrogation room, right?
yeah, exactly. So we're in the interrogation room where we find out that Bruce has an alibi, apparently. But the alibi, of course,
Could have been me. I was cheating on my wife.
could have been me. I was having an affair with the blonde.
Yeah, so
She's actually another cop working undercover as a
they're
prostitute.
barking up the wrong tree. So we're sitting there in the interrogation room, and then Bruce Campbell, Jack Forrest, his lawyer comes in.
Oh, this guy.
This guy sucks. So as Captain Ripley and Detective Lovejoy, they're leaving. They're like, hey, we got him. They look at the lawyer. They go, hey, we're going to get a statement later. We got him. Anyways, we're done with this here. Like, he's it.
Yeah, and the lawyer's like, good. And at first you think the lawyer's good. He's like, all right, good day, officers. Good day.
Yeah. Okay, officer, whatever.
Get out of here. Quit interrogating my client.
No, instead he sits down and he just looks all frustrated and defeated already. He says, well, you could.
I see your case. It doesn't look good for us.
He's already given him excuses. Like, you could say, I guess, Irresistible impulse? What the fuck does that even mean? Irresistible impulse?
Oh, my favorite. You don't remember doing the killing.
Maybe you don't remember. We plead insanity. That's the first thing he says when he sits down. I'm like, get yourself like a fucking lawyer, dude.
Doing. I'm innocent.
You're in New York. There's got to be a better lawyer than this.
It's something.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
The lawyer blows.
So now we're at Tom Atkins, and he's going to check the alibi of Bruce Campbell. And I just love Tom Atkins. He's such a badass. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't go swimming with the dolphins. The dolphins go swimming with him.
Oh, really? Because it's true, huh?
Yeah.
Because I've heard that he once tried to join. He was about to join the Hell's Angels.
Really?
Oh yeah, they brought him in, and he took a look at their operation. He's like, "Bunch of pussies, dude. You guys are weak." He's supposed to be Hell's Angel. Didn't happen though. He's too badass for Hell's Angel.
So Tom Atkins, he finds out that Mallory is actually an undercover agent working a prostitute sting. We introduced Mallory, and well, we're reintroduced to Mallory working the beat. And a man comes and drives in the car, and has like a scumbag, and she kind of tells him to go home. He's like, "I'm be thinking about you, baby." And you're like, "Oh God,
No, but here's the thing,
I
because
need a shower."
he's trying to solicit her,
Right.
and he asks if she's a cop, and she has to say yes. Is that a true thing?
No.
God, so much bullshit, isn't it? Because I always heard that when I was.
Yeah, like cops don't lie all the fucking time. Give me a break.
Because look, I've encountered drug dealers in my life, and I've done drugs, and I'm like, hey, just make sure ask if they're a cop, and they have to tell you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm gonna put all my faith in that. So, but anyways, that's what he does. Yeah, he asks if she's a cop, and she says,
she basically was like, "Yeah, you need to go home.
go home to your wife.
Your wife." And he's like, "I'll be thinking of you, sunshine." And you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
God,
lucky gal, whoever he's married to.
burn it and kill it with fire." So Tom Atkins goes and he's checking out the alibi. He's gonna go talk to Mallory. And who do we get? Maniac Cop. You know what?
So he's stalking Mallory, Maniac Cop. Right now,
Mallory, yeah. So
he's on her tail.
Maniac Cop is after Mallory now. And now that's what I love about this movie. It's called Maniac Cop, and you get Maniac Cop. It's all through the movie, and I love that. And so he goes after her. She has her badge upside down, and I remember the scene, like she has her badge. I'm a cop, and it's upside down. And they didn't really have the chance to do any like retakes or anything, so they just said, "Fuck it, leave it in. It's not that big of a deal."
Right.
And Maniac Cop comes, and they grapple a little bit.
They get into a scuffle. Shoots him a lot.
Right? Point blank.
This guy takes rounds like Michael Myers.
Man, he's better than Michael Myers. Michael Myers will go down every once in a while or fall out of a window.
No, this dude doesn't even.
He doesn't even move.
He doesn't even move. It's like shooting a wall.
It's like a brick wall. And then again, Tom Atkins comes and he kind of saves Mallory from Maniac.
Well, he opens up fire too.
Yeah, and
so they're just unloading their service revolvers on it.
Exactly. And he must take 10 rounds.
I was trying to count. I got like 15. Not even kidding.
Like it's seriously a lot of rounds.
Bang, bang,
and just shooting into a brick wall. Doesn't move. But because Tom Atkins comes and other police officers are coming, Maniac Cop kind of kicks rocks.
He's like, "We'll revisit this. I'll put a pin in this." Yeah.
Yeah. Why would he kick rocks? He doesn't need to. He could take on all the police officers if he's taking gunshots.
So now we cut to they're at the bar, Atkins and Mallory, after unloading their service revolvers on this guy. And they're just sitting there. They got their own booth, and they're having just a cocktail.
Like a normal,
all nonchalantly.
Yeah. Like they just didn't get through shooting this guy 15 times.
And he got
to go down.
And they're discussing, shit's crazy. And she tells Atkins, "I shot him in his head twice."
Yeah, she did. And then Atkins unloaded on her. And then she also says his hands felt like ice. These are all things that would worry me about a person that's going around killing people.
Yeah. So this is where you have to suspend your disbelief again.
Yeah.
Because, what is it?
That's the beauty of Maniac Cop. Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he superhuman? What's the deal? We don't know. Is vengeance his only
the guy just took 2 to the dome and is still walking around.
I know. Like, that's hardcore. Well, we do get Atkins, and this is where we get more of the story. And Tom is like, "Hey, Bruce is in jail. His wife is dead. He's in jail for the murder of his wife. And again, taking the news on the chin like a champ. She's like, oh,
that sucks.
so, he didn't do it. He's like, well, yeah, he says that you're the alibi. Does anybody else know that you were having an affair? And this is where she pretty much explains that Nolan, the dead mother who works in the archives,
Sally Nolan,
played
by Sheree North, by the way,
is the only one that she told.
So now we're with Officer McCrae, Tom Atkins, and he's going to the archives.
Yes, he's going to the archives.
He's going to do a little homework, find out what's going on
with Officer Nolan.
Who works at the archives, right? So as he's signing in, he has, because he just got in the scuffle with Maniac Cop, so he has this big bandage wrapped around, not even his face, his hand.
His whole hand.
His whole hand is wrapped around. It's like a goddamn cast.
Pretty much.
And as he's signing in, the officer that's signing him in goes, hey, what happened? He's like, cut myself shaving. Fucking me and you both started dying.
So hard at that line, but I think it was the delivery.
Exactly. At the time, I was going to say the time. You can't even hesitate. Yeah, I cut myself shaving.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
It wasn't the line so much itself, but the timing and the delivery is what made this so funny. He goes down to the archives because it's in the basement, and he does end up running into Officer Nolan, and they kind of, shoot the shit a little bit. He's trying to feel her out. Not really saying much about anything except that, Mallory was attacked, little stuff like that, just to kind of see her reaction. And, she's like, oh, we should all go out sometime and have a beer. And he's like, yeah.
He goes, oh, I passed you all the time.
Yeah, I passed you
last several years, and I never said anything.
I just ignored you because you're a fucking nobody down here.
But now he needs her.
Yeah,
so.
Well, he doesn't need her. He's trying to figure out what she's all about.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so he's like, yeah. This is my favorite line he says, too. He's all, we'll be the best of friends.
He says that, too.
He says that we'll be the best of friends. We'll be irreparable.
Just let me look at these files here and you get out of my way.
And so he's like, yeah, we should all have a beer together. And he kind of gives her an empty promise like, yeah, we'll be the best of friends.
You bet. You might as well say, you bet.
You bet. Sign, put me down. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Has a coworker,
oh my God,
that you work with ever wanted you to go out so badly and you just give him an empty promise?
I don't know about giving empty promises. Well, yeah, sure, but let's just talk about that in general. People at work, it starts off with like them suggesting a show to you.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I already got a bunch of fucking shit I got to watch. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. You haven't seen this? And you almost want to say no to everything because the moment you say yes to something, like, oh, actually, I have seen that. And they go, oh, yeah. And the worst, the
best friends now.
The most dreadful thing is when someone reaches into their pocket and slowly, it happens in my life, it happens in slow motion. They start pulling and they go, let me show you.
Pull out their phone.
Let me show you. Let me show you a video that's 3 minutes. You're like, no. And then they start asking what video games you play. And I'm a busy guy. I'm just trying to get to the next. I'm not busy. I don't want to fucking talk to you.
Right.
Let me do my thing, dude.
We're in our 40s.
That's the thing. It's rolled. Yeah, that's
We've already made all the friends we're gonna make. We're not gonna make any more friends until we're in the retirement. I mean, the biggest miracle Jesus ever had that he ever did was having 12 friends at the age of 33.
And I've done the empty promise mostly with PlayStation games. Oh yeah, no problem. They go, oh, you play that game too? Cool. What's your handle? Like, what's your name on PlayStation? And you go, oh yeah, totally.
Fuck. You give them a fake name?
No, I've told them just
like
hoping.
Girls giving out fake numbers to guys that just look kind of alone.
No,
they're like, oh,
I'll tell them because I'm like, well, I'm this far in, and then it's like hoping like that they just don't.
Yeah, they don't follow.
They don't follow through with it. Yeah,
but the ones that follow through.
Yeah, but that happens to work all the time.
You know what it feels like to me? It feels like when they follow through on something like, oh, do you want to go out? And you're like, oh, yeah, maybe. and then they call you or they text you, hey, we're going out, where are you at? You know what it feels like to me? It feels like they're sticking their hands in my pockets.
Yeah.
That's how uncomfortable I
feel violated.
Yeah, and anxiety, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm off of work. I don't want to do this anymore.
All because we watched the same a show.
Millions of other people have watched the show,
but now me and you going to hang out because of this.
There's a Reddit discussion about it. Leave me alone.
And don't get me wrong, I've made some of my closest friends,
at work. So have I.
But now, like you said, I'm in my 40s. I'm about to be 40 this year.
I don't want to make it more
someone else is going to run their mouth about something.
I'm in the hospitality industry, and my whole thing is to be friendly and nice and charming. And that's what people see when they see me, because I'm dealing with clients or customers or guests. And they're like, oh, Julian's a nice guy. And then they get me by myself, like, please don't. I need friends who don't want me to call every day, who don't want me to text every day, who don't send me videos to my phone. Those are the friends.
And it's not that I'm nice. I'm just a good actor. Do you think that I'm nice? But in my head, I'm like, please shut up. Stop talking to me. But I'm like, oh, yeah, man, you bet. I'm going to do the Tom Atkinson the next person. We're going to be the best of friends. I'm going to use that. We're going to be the best of friends.
I love it. Love it. So now we get Atkins, and he actually follows Officer Nolan to the docks. He's starting to tail her because he doesn't trust her. He knows something's up. He just doesn't know what yet. And he follows her to the docks, where Officer Nolan meets with the one and only
Maniac
Cop.
So this is the reveal, but we've already revealed.
Yeah, we've already revealed that she's working with Maniac Cop. In fact, it turns out they were both lovers at one time, and she actually because she's a cripple and she has a cane in this movie, and she actually hurt herself when she found out that the reveal is Matt Cordell goes to prison kind of like unjustly, I would say.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we don't. The thing about this movie is they make it so kind of vague, and I love that about the movie. They're like, "Oh, he's this type of cop, or he's this type of cop," and But regardless of the situation, he went to prison. The powers that be, the corrupt powers that be, put him there. And she's talking to him, and she's saying, "Matt."
I think she says his name, right?
Yeah,
Cordell. Matt Cordell.
Yeah, Matt. I really, I want you to stop killing the good people and only kill the bad. It's one thing to take your revenge, but don't kill everybody. And then meanwhile, Atkins is hearing all this, and of course, he's not hiding very well.
So he hears the name, though.
Yeah, he hears the noise.
Like you do, like they always do in horror movies.
Yeah, he makes a noise like clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, kicks over a coffee can on a
cat comes around or something. Is opening up a bag of chips in a movie theater. And so then what happens after he makes the noise, Derek?
Oh, she turned. So my very first time watching this, she just turns and fires so quickly without even no hesitation. She just turns and goes bam, 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 and just fires in his direction. I think she was still finishing up a sentence talking to Maniac Cop. Like, yeah, so anyways, just stop killing people. Bam, bam, bam. Hold on, we got somebody over here. She just turns and fires with the
She literally shot first and asked questions later.
Yeah.
How? Who's there?
Yeah.
Whoever's there is dead. You just shot wildly into the middle of the night.
But he got what he needed. He got a name.
He got what he needed, and he left, and he took off. And she turns around after firing the gun, and Matt Cordell, Maniac Cop, has disappeared.
So after he disappears into the night, we see where he sleeps. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
At all?
Yeah, I kind of do. Kind of just on his side at a dock somewhere.
Sleeping like Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles and shit. Get this guy a pair of basketball shorts. You know what I mean? He's some slippers. He's
gonna go to sleep just like this.
Goes to sleep, and we get our flashback.
Oh my God! So it turns out that Matt Cordell was a cop, and then gets sent to
damn good cop.
Supposedly damn good cop. But I don't know, what kind of cop are you if you shoot first and ask questions later? That, to me, doesn't sound like a damn good cop. Kind of sound like you're semi-crazy anyways.
Right.
Right? Like you're unstable. To me, it sounds like you're unstable. But that's how they describe Matt Cordell. And the cops love him. Like, oh, he's this big, tough, shoot 'em up guy. And anyways, he ends up going to prison on some bunk charges that the corrupt politicians put him there. And
it's like a dream sequence flashback.
And it's a dream sequence flashback that he's having. and he goes in the flashback, and he's naked. And mind you, Robert Zadar is big. He's a huge dude.
Yeah.
And he's like rubbing the soap, and he's by himself in prison, like in a prison shower at night, I'm assuming.
And before that, remember they're walking him into the prison, and it shows all the other prisoners looking down from above.
All these
put
prisoners
in there, so right off the
all
bat,
the prisoners in there, so they knew, like, you know, they're gonna get him.
you're going, oh shit, they're putting him in the lion's den because
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're in the shower,
And he's just like zestfully clean. That's what it reminded me of, those old zestfully clean commercials. He's rubbing his body, and then we get ice. And I'm gonna tell you, Derek,
I know
these guys are, I wouldn't say the toughest. It's like you send these guys after Robert Zadar. I would send these guys after my 10-year-old.
it's like if me and you went in there after him. Imagine me and you, who would have lasted prison anyway.
Yeah.
It's like me and you are walking in there.
Yeah.
All right, these guys don't look tough at all.
And they go in there, and the clothes are all baggy. Like, their arms, you have no arms, you know, no chest. One of them's not wearing a shirt. And it's like, he has like 4 hairs coming out of his chest.
And they assault him. They're coming at him.
These cuz start going, and of course, he's going to town. He's making,
dude, knees to the face, slamming their face into the fucking wall.
I don't know how he
Elbow somebody in the nose.
Oh man, he loves throwing them.
Dude.
He's throwing them against walls. And it turns out, because, you know, he is naked, and they do have like shoes on and whatever, I'm assuming, and a knife, and they stick him.
They get him in the
upper hand.
back, right? They get him in the back. So then he falls to his knees. He falls to his knees. And then we get a POV shot
of them,
of Cordell. So imagine you're Maniac Cop, or you're at this time, you're just Cordell.
POV shot, yeah.
And then sees 3 guys, they're like taking turns, slashing at his face. Remember, so it's the POV shot. So,
and however, if they're slashing his face, like, they look like gangsters from a musical, like the West Side Story, like they're snapping their fingers and they're daintily slashing his face.
And they're like, I'm going to cut your face now, Mr. Cop Man. Put me here in prison, Mr. Cop Man. That's what we're going to show. They slashed your face, Mr. Cop Man. It's so dainty how they're cutting, and they're like taking turns, like, man, you cut this, Mr. Cop Man. You put me here in prison, Mr. Cop Man. I don't know, that's how it felt to me when I watched it. That's the song I heard in my head, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's all I heard too. And
because I'm like, dude, it should be brutal and violent, right? Like, rather like hold him down, I just like fucking him up.
They pirouette as he slashes.
Disappearing. I swear to God, I'm watch the movie, you guys. He does a pirouette. He's like, oh, that's after he slides. Take that face, cop face.
It's
horrible.
Yeah, they got these criminals.
That was terrible.
Yeah, it may be a prison scene in a musical, maybe.
Scene in a musical,
but that's
Mr. Cop Man,
like slash your face. He slash. I don't know why they have accents, but they do.
Yeah. Well, in our head, they do.
They do. It's funnier that way.
So after the flashback dream sequence, we get to Tom Atkins, Officer McCrae, looking at the computer system because he's looking up Matt Cordell.
Now, this is the 1988 computer system.
So green,
the green text, the black background, no graphics.
And so, and he's looking at the characteristics of him, and we laughed. We had to pause it. It was like this.
Okay.
It says extreme strength. That's all it says. So he's looking down. He's like, you know,
what is your special ability? Extreme strength. Like he's a character off of Street Fighter 2. Well, we get to the point where Officer McCrae, Tom Atkins, is actually putting the pieces together. He's starting to figure out that it is Matt Cordell who's doing these killings, and Officer Nolan, who is actually his one-time girlfriend, is involved as well. But see, there's a caveat here, because Matt Cordell is dead. He died in prison. And so there's a big mystery. What happens is now he's actually makes an appointment to go see what happened. Unfortunately, he never gets to that appointment because Maniac Cop
shows up to the police station.
Police station. This movie should be called Badass Motherfuckers Doing Badass Things. Because Robert Zadar goes into a police station. They're all firing at him. They're all shooting at him. Oh, and what is he? He's throwing cops left and right like fucking rag dolls.
It reminded me of like the first Terminator movie when he goes
Right. He's just like walking
place up.
through and just slamming on these cops. And then, of course, unfortunately, he does end up killing 6 cops. And then he gets to Tom Atkins. Oh, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked at this because what Robert Zadar, what Maniac Cop does to Tom Atkins' head is he kind of plays pinball with his fucking head against the filing cabinets and then throws him out a goddamn window and he lands on a car and you're like, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, like Atkins getting thrown out of a Tom Atkins?
Right, getting thrown out of a fucking window.
Right. Holy shit. And then he kills his girlfriend. Reverse chokehold. He lifts her up with her back facing him. He lifts her up
Oh, that's right.
4 feet in the air, pushes her against the wall, and then throws her. And it's crazy. So he decimates the police station. Mallory and Bruce Campbell,
They escape.
the escape during the chaos and all this. And they kind of find out, and Mallory knows that Officer McCrae was going to meet with the coroner. So they're now on the run because he escaped prison and all these cops are dead. And of course, they're going to blame it on Bruce. They're going to blame it on Jack Forrester. Like, oh, Jack Forrest. And kill all these. He's the one that killed all these cops. And so they already got their mind made up. And so now they're on the run. They're on the lam. And they're actually going to go see the coroner.
So now we're with Bruce Campbell and Mallory. They're on a train because they're going to go see the coroner who signed off on Cordell's death, correct?
That is correct.
They want to look into that a little bit.
That is correct. They are sitting together. Supposedly, you don't know. It's an outside shot of the train. And basically, Bruce Campbell is complaining.
He's complaining
that, it's his ass on the line.
It's my ass on the line.
My ass on the line. And you thinking like, hey, can we talk about the budget in and the murder of your wife and how you're coping dealing with that?
Hey, Bruce. Yeah, hey, excuse me. Where's your wife's body and when's her funeral?
Yeah. Who's taking care of the funeral arrangement? Does her family even know that she passed?
You just told him, keep her on ice. I got to go figure this shit out. I'll be back.
Her next of kin that was notified. I mean, what is going? Your wife is dead. You're solving the mystery with your mistress and you're complaining like, oh, it's my ass on the line. I get it. You are being framed for murder you did not commit with a bunch of cops that are going to pin this on you.
So definitely not a hero like how Ash was, right?
No, definitely no. I'm not even rooting for him or Mallory. And nothing's wrong with Mallory. I mean, she just kind of got caught up in this. And I know homewrecker. I'm not mad at Mallory. She's just probably trying to find herself.
I'm not mad. It's just hard to root for him.
Yeah, it's like in the end, you're kind of rooting for Maniac Cop.
Honestly, because after you watch that sequence and you learn what happened to him.
And you know what? The only reason why I'm not rooting for Maniac Cop is because he killed Tom Atkins.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
No, he played with him like a rag doll and threw him out a window. So I'm kind of upset. I'm like, hey, for you. Now that you killed Tom Atkins, I don't even want nothing to do with you, man. So they do end up getting to the coroner that signed off on Matt Cordell's death. And it turns out he thought he was brain dead. Like he was somewhat alive, but kind of not. So you really don't know if he's alive or dead. And instead of just put him in a pauper's grave or whatever the case may be, he ends up giving him to the girlfriend.
Officer Nolan.
Officer Nolan,
right?
Yeah. And he's sitting there and he tells them, he's like, hey, I really thought he was dead. I gave her, there's nothing, they could do. There's nothing I could do.
Well, it wasn't only that. They didn't want to put him back into the prison, right? Because they knew.
Well, he was dead. Yeah, he was dead. Yeah, he was dead. According to the coroner, he was brain dead. There was nothing that could be done. Might as well just give the body to the girlfriend because that's totally legal. But it's 1988 New York, so, whatever. And then the coroner finds out who they really are and that they've escaped a prison filled with a bunch of dead cops. And he's like, get out of here. I want nothing to do with you. And then after all this, the lady comes in, right?
Because he's worried about his career.
He's worried about his career.
My career's on.
Remember, he's drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh my god, these fucking people are fucking with me. Matt Cordell might be alive. What the fuck?" And then the lady comes in and is like, "Here's your tie."
She's all tie. She's all green tie for St. Patrick's Day. After all that shit, she will come in and all that on him.
Seriously, like, here's your tie for St. Patrick's
Here's your
Day.
tie. Yeah.
So we actually now get to the parade because it's St. Patty's Day, according to the lady with the tie and the green. And I love this scene because they actually do some guerrilla type shooting. They actually went to an actual police parade and shot a bunch of scenes. Almost got arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost got arrested. And then he said, "Oh, we're student filmmakers." And the guy's like, "Really? Because that's a fucking $400,000 camera you're shooting with." So they didn't buy it, but they did some guerrilla shooting
And got away with it.
Got away with it.
Good.
Even in one of the shots, you see a cop like drinking a beer, and you're like,
Oh.
They put that in, and you're like, "Oh man!" And then you get my favorite cameo of the movie, Sam Raimi. And
yeah.
Sam Raimi is in charge, the Evil Dead trilogy, Spider-Man, Drag Me to Hell, and of course, recently, Doctor Strange, Darkness movie or whatever it is. I don't know. It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi. And he has a small little cameo in there, and he's a reporter, and basically in front of a bunch of cops. Again, guerrilla shooting. And just kind of going with the flow, like, are people safe with this maniac cop loose? Da, 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 da. And so I like it. I like it. It's a really good scene. It's really interesting, and I'm impressed with how they did this.
Nice. All right. So then we get now we get Mallory goes to the commissioner, right?
Yes.
She's like, I'm gonna go bring this case to the commissioner, and then Bruce Campbell's like, all right, I'm gonna wait outside. Cool. You go up there.
Good job, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait outside. You go up
Why
there.
don't wait when you're?
Well, obviously they don't want to see him.
Why don't you contemplate your wife's death while you're waiting outside?
I'll think about where's her body at? So she goes up there. She goes to the commissioner, Detective Lovejoy, and she goes, "Hey, Officer Atkins was onto something. Before he was killed, he wanted to go to the coroner because he was onto something.
Yeah, he had a big break in the case.
He had a big break in the case." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, it's funny you say that." Because she said, "Hey, it's Officer Cordell. We know who it is now. It's Matt Cordell."
And of course, they don't want to hear it because Matt Cordell died in prison.
No, they want to put this thing behind.
Yeah, they're like, "It's you." Yeah.
He goes, "Actually, it's funny you bring up Atkins. You bring up McCrae because he left us a message before he died. You want to hear it?" And he plays it right in front of her. What does that message say?
And the message is, he's like, "Hey, I got a big break in the case. There's a female cop involved. And I'll talk to you later." And he hangs up, and he's like, boom, there it is. Commissioner's like, "Case closed. Female cop, you're a female cop."
The lack of investigating just drives me nuts with these guys. Well, female cop, you're a female cop, right?
Yeah,
boom, case closed. I got a parade to get to, honey. I think he even said that. No, I got a parade to get to.
I'm going to arrest you. It brings up another cop to arrest her.
Mm-hmm.
He brings up another cop to arrest her.
Who I thought was creeping out on her at first, but no, he actually wants to be the one to bust her.
Right. He wants the fame. He's like, "Hey, yeah, give me something. I don't know." But he wants the media time or whatever it is with her.
Saying he's the one that brought her in.
Right. Yeah, let me bring.
Because at first I thought he was creeping on her because like, hey, well,
he kind of was.
We got the whole office to ourselves. And I was like, oh shit, here we go.
And then he handcuffs her to him, right? And he's dragging her along.
And if I remember correctly,
yeah, and he's complaining like, "Let's get going." Da 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 da.
Because she's not cooperating.
Yeah, no, she's not going to cooperate with him. We're not going to go to the press or anything like that.
So they go to a break room for whatever reason.
Right.
We find ourselves in a break room.
Right.
And then Maniac Cop comes in
the background, and he kills the commissioner and the chief.
Oh yeah. It was right after he got done talking. He's like, "All right, let's go.
Let's go.
I got a parade to get to.
How's my tie?"
And then you see through the little glass window on the doors, you see Maniac Cop kill them both. And I'm always happy to see both those guys go.
Those guys, like
you guys. So you kind of root for Maniac Cop a lot in this movie.
These guys are
they're the ones that bat my big boys.
It's a okay. It's a movie filled with badass motherfuckers doing badass things, but it's also a movie filled with a bunch of fucking scumbags.
And you remember that line that the coroner says as they went and met him, we forgot to mention it, but he goes, the politicians put him in there, and the prisoners did the rest.
And the prisoners did the rest.
Yeah.
And that's exactly this movie in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And so Maniac Cop is seeking revenge on everybody. Like, no one's saved from Maniac Cop.
Yeah, not even the commissioner. Right. Commissioner gets killed. The detective that was with him, Detective Lovejoy, gets killed.
Part of this, as Mallory's our final girl, and she is connected to this cop by handcuffs, and he's like dragging her, and the cop gets killed by Maniac Cop, and she has to drag this dead body cop away, trying to struggle and move this body away from Maniac Cop, who's immune to bullets.
And he starts breaking through the door.
Yeah.
Right? Because she shuts the door. They're in that break room. And she shuts the door. She's handcuffed to a dead cop. And he starts. And it is scary. He just starts fucking breaking through that door with his hands like,
and he's vibrating the whole damn fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, to me, I would be like, I'm just going to accept my fate here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to accept.
I would just freeze up probably.
Yeah, I'm like, my life is going to flash before my eyes because I'm handcuffed to a dead cop and another dead cop's coming to kill me.
But no, Mallory, not only she had homewrecker, she's got some fight in her.
She's got some fight. And her tussle ends up going to the balcony of this, I guess, 3-story kind of building of the police station. She does break loose from Maniac, the actual cop, and she fights off Maniac Cop barely. And
then goes out onto the window, and then Bruce Campbell, because she goes out the window onto like the roof, I guess,
balcony type.
And you look up, and then Jack Forrest, Bruce Campbell sees her, and he's like, "Hey, we need to help. That's on the line. We need to help her." And all the cops, they don't want to hear any of that. As soon as they see him, they get excited. They're like,
grab it in the news, man.
They're like, fucking throw him in the van, and they throw him in the van.
That's the scene they got arrested. They had a bunch of extras, dressed up as cops, and they threw Bruce Campbell in the car. And that's what actually got him arrested by the police when they did that shooting. And they're like, "Oh, it's a student film. Student, you got Bruce Campbell."
A student film.
Yeah, a student. Yeah, exactly.
Now talking about police brutality.
Yeah,
so student film.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mention that at a police parade. I wouldn't. I mean, that's the
wrong place.
Yeah.
So they throw him in the van?
They throw him in the paddy wagon, and he is arrested. And she obviously escapes, and now we get to one of the favorite scenes of the whole movie.
Now is this where it becomes just an action movie?
This is where it becomes an action movie.
It just basically becomes an action movie.
Yeah, so Maniac Cop becomes this guy who goes down to where Bruce Campbell's at in the back of the paddy wagon, takes out the driver, throws him because he loves this guy's a thrower, man.
No, he's a thrower.
He throws him and then gets in the paddy wagon with Bruce Campbell.
So now that's the situation. We got Maniac Cop driving the paddy wagon with Bruce Campbell in the back.
Right. And a chase ensues, and Mallory gets into another cop car with another police officer, and she's like, "Follow that van." And he's like, "Okay." And he does. And for the most part, he does. And they're getting chased. The cop.
And it's just shots of like, of Jack Forrest getting thrown around in the back of the van, right? He's getting thrown every which way. Maniac Cop's driving like a fucking nutbag. And he basically drives to where I think he sleeps on that abandoned dog.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is.
We're going to go where I kick it. This is my kick it place. Yeah. He goes there.
But before he gets to Pier 14, he has to go through this gate. So it's not, I've been saying abandoned, but it's not abandoned because there's a cop, a guard,
it's a security guard there.
Right.
Yeah. In charge of the gate.
In charge of the gate. And so as this van's approaching, he starts coming out like, "Hey, oh, hold on." And he stands like in the opening and goes, hey, like telling him to stop. That van ain't stopping. This stunt was cool, man, right? Because that was a real guy that got hit by a van.
It wasn't it was a stunt double who, and if you look at the hit, he gets twisted pretty bad. And I'm thinking that's the last time that guy ever stunt doubled in his life.
Because they timed it like, okay, you're going to kind of stand, you're going to jump at the side of the van a little bit, and you're only going to get nicked by the van.
But Nick is no. His legs were crushed to gravel. His bones are gravel. in his legs because
Yeah,
my God,
kudos,
it's-
hats off to that stunt man right there. He
I'm
gets hit and he kind of rolls over the hood a little bit and goes off to the side.
getting
And that's
heebie-jeebies
noteworthy.
just
So
thinking about
if
it.
you haven't watched the movie yet, when you do watch it, pay attention to that. That's a good stunt. And then he parks it in the pier.
Pier 14,
Maniac Cop gets out of the van, grabs an axe.
and he starts heading towards the back to start where Bruce Campbell's at in the back of the paddy.
Handcuffed, by the way.
Yeah,
Bruce
Bruce Campbell is still handcuffed in the back of the paddy wagon, and Maniac Cop comes with an axe, and he tries to axe his way through the door, which is crazy because I saw the computer and it said extreme strength. I saw you knock down doors like,
Yeah, now it's taking you 4 or 5 whacks to
yeah.
break a master lock.
and in this whole time, Mallory is following the paddy wagon. They finally get there with the other police officer, and the other police officer is like, I'm gonna call for backup. And
She grabs the shotgun,
got the
runs
shotgun,
in there.
and she goes in there, and she's like, "Stop!" And he goes, "Okay," because he's manhandling Bruce Campbell, still in handcuffs, and he throws Bruce Campbell at Mallory.
She goes, "Let him go," and he just picks him up and
He's like,
throws
"Yeah,
him
here
at
you
him.
go,
Here you
here
go.
you go."
Here you go. Not only will I let him go, I'll give him to you
And he's like, "Get these
by way of throwing.
And unfortunately, during this, he ends up getting the shotgun now because, she got hit with Bruce Campbell. And so he has the shotgun. And then, but our hero, the other police officer, comes in to save the day. And he's all, "Get away from them." And
Gets
unfortunately,
blown away. Bam.
just blown away. Maniac Cop shoots this guy with one hand with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's
Bam.
one-handed.
Like,
The last time I saw that was on Terminator 2 from Arnold Schwarzenegger while he was on the hog. Remember?
And he was a machine.
Yeah, that's just this name.
Made of metal. This is Robert Zadar, who wrote jingles for commercials and advertising.
And then so Maniac Cop hears the sirens coming. He knows, hey, I got to get out of here. Tries to jump in the van. Where was he going? Because he just where was he going to drive? Because he just starts driving
He's
towards
driving
the
in a
water.
police paddy wagon.
Towards the water.
He's driving toward, and Bruce Campbell gets on there, and there's a little
Jumps on the side.
jumps on the side, and again, Robert Zadar, Maniac Cop, is just making light of Bruce Campbell, like, "Hey,
As he's driving the van, pushing off Bruce Campbell.
yeah, it's like, and it's not even like, oh, he's frustrated. It's just more like he's annoyed.
But it does distract him enough to where Maniac Cop drives dead into this, I don't know, it looks like a part of a boat that's just suspended for some reason. Imagine like a long, like 20-foot,
long
big
mast,
still
yeah.
mast of a boat or something hanging horizontally, and he drives right into it. And it goes through the windshield and then
Goes through his
right through
chest.
him.
right through him, and then they
And then
jump
they
off the pier. They drive off the pier, and you can tell that stunt double isn't Bruce Campbell because, like, that stunt double's balding.
it was like George Costanza
Yeah.
and shit.
But
But it is a cool ass fucking.
It's
You can
still-
tell that van went off of a ramp. First of all, they didn't just like go kerplunk into the water. Like it, boom, you could tell it hits a ramp. It's a badass looking stunt,
Yeah.
and I like how they fixed the camera inside the van. So when the van is rolling, because it's going it's turning end over end, not end over end, but it's spiraling
on his side, yeah.
right. And they put a camera in there, and you see it. Like they show you the shot, you see like the upside down shot from inside the van, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
And then kerplunk into the water.
And
Yeah.
you know what? And we can end it there. We don't need to go any further because, I mean, there's obviously sequels.
Mhm.
Cop 2, Maniac. You still have the right. You still have the right to remain dead, and then
No, right to remain silent
silent. Yeah, but it's silent forever.
forever.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you still have the right to remain silent forever. And then Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence.
Yes.
I don't know. So we'll end it there. If you want to catch the rest of the ending, watch it yourself. On a scale of 1 through 10 with me, I love this movie. I love it. It's great. I'm not even going to give you a number because I would buy merchandise. I'm going to get the Blu-ray. I'll probably get all of the trilogy.
Yeah, me too. I'll buy the trilogy.
Yeah, I'm going to buy the trilogy all on Blu-ray. I liked it. It was a good movie.
This was a fun movie to cover. And my final recommendations would be it really easy. If you're a Bruce Campbell or Tom Atkins fan, if you're an action movie fan who also likes horror movies, this is for you. This
Yeah.
is perfect for you.
Yeah.
And it's also it's campy enough to like if you like watching B movies, it's also fits that it fits all of these.
It fits the
all of
movie
those.
genre. It fits the action drama genre. It fits the horror genre. It's a good movie. They did a good job.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Check it out. Took me by again, like I said at the beginning, it took me by surprise. Surprisingly good. Check out Maniac Cop.
Yeah, check out Maniac Cop. And of course, if you have any suggestions for us or would like us to review a movie or talk about a movie or a comic book or a video game, you guys can go ahead and email us at itcamefromthepod@gmail.com and give us your suggestions.
Or if you wanted to make corrections, because we're not perfect and we make mistakes.
We
Just
make
like earlier,
tons of mistakes.
earlier Captain Ripley got killed with the commissioner, not Detective Lovejoy.
Right.
So, but we're not going to go back and re-record that whole thing.
No, we're not.
Because we're already pressed for time here. So, yeah. So, if any corrections or any even just additional insight, we would really
You can
appreciate.
also hit us up on Instagram at It Came From The Pod at Instagram. So, yeah, give us your suggestions.
All right. Now this brings us to our game. This one I made specifically for this movie, Maniac Cop. This game is called Cop or Not.
I love
Cop
title.
or Not.
Cop or Not. Okay.
So long story short, I looked up a bunch of crazy shit that people did. Some of them were cops. Some of them were not. And I'm not going to
the name Cop or Not.
Now this one, you got it easy, bro, because you have a 50-50 shot here. A lot of the games we play, there's like 4 choices.
Right.
It's a lot tougher than 50-50.
Right.
So you don't got to be that smart for this one, even though you are a smart fellow. And I'm not going to go too much into details, even though some of these are really interesting stories. I am going to say the names, though. So if you, the listener, it sounds like something that intrigues you, I encourage you to just go look it up on Google yourself. For any of these names that I drop, but I'm not going to go in it because we're not true crime people here.
No,
we just use this shit for the sake of the games and all that stuff. So, basically, I'm going to state a crime that was committed, and then you have to tell me if it was a cop or not. I'll give you the year that it happened. Sometimes I'll tell you if it was a female or a male. Sometimes I won't.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds great.
So you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
You got 50-50. Here we go.
It. And you at home play as well. Let's go.
Play as well. So question number 1. 1900 is the year. In Omaha, a 16-year-old son of a millionaire was abducted and $25,000 was demanded in a ransom note. The millionaire paid the amount in gold at a place designated by the ransom note, which he saw no one while driving away. Boy was returned safely.
Oh,
Cop or not?
Man, you know what?
And I'm keeping score.
It's 1900, and it sounds like it's the Wild West.
That's why I did that shit.
Yeah, it's the Wild West. And you know what? Most officers of the law in the 1900s were criminals too, or have been criminals. So I'm going to say that this was a cop.
And you would be wrong.
What?
This is not a cop. Yeah, this was not a cop. This was the Edward Cudahy. The kid was Edward Cudahy, Cudahy. So if you want to look it up, basically the kid was kidnapped by a disgruntled employee of this millionaire who owned this packing company.
That makes sense.
It was a meat packing company.
That makes sense too.
And there you go.
Yeah,
that's that. So look up Edward Cudahy.
And he's a millionaire, and they only asked for 25,000.
25,000. Well, back in 1900, that was like $1 million, right?
I don't know.
So, all right, number 2.
Yes, let's do it.
2022, a Southern California man who was charged with directing a conspiracy to ship weapons to a drug trafficking group that law enforcement officials describe as one of the most powerful in Mexico. Cop or not?
Oh, yeah, that's a cop.
Yeah,
it's a cop.
Yeah, it's a cop, especially in 2022.
California, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
You need to be a cop in order to organize that kind of shit.
Yeah, it was actually close to us, Whittier, California. Yeah. Marco Antonio Valencia, 51 years old, and there was 3 others involved. One of them being his son involved in this conspiracy. Yeah, so there you go. Ding, ding, ding. Number 3.
Let's do it.
1943. This man killed his first victim during sex by choking her, then buried her in his communal garden. This unleashed his bloodlust as he soon went after his neighbor, who he invited over under false pretenses so he could rape and murder her.
Oh, man, dude.
Cop or not?
Jesus. And it's a crazy dude. I'm going to say it's a cop.
And you would be correct. Yeah, his name is John Christie. John Christie apparently became a cop even though he had a criminal record that included a number of thefts and violent assaults.
Oh yeah, because most of the men went to war, so they probably needed him to patrol the streets.
Number 4. This was, let's see, this started in 1992. So 1992, this man lured at least 22 women to their deaths. He was known to target women who resembled his abusive mother, and he would attack them with a knife or axe.
No.
Cop or not?
He's not a cop.
Cop or not?
He's not a cop.
Not a cop?
No way.
So between 1992 and 2000, a cop committed these. His name was Mikhail Popkov. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Mikhail Popkov.
Yeah.
Mikhail Popkov.
Russia.
Yeah, and he actually used his patrol car and uniform to do the job.
Was this in Russia? Or was this here? In the States?
I think it was here in the States. But again, look it up at home.
Yeah.
All right, so number 5. So we got 8 of these.
Right, let's do it.
All right. 2005.
No, great.
This individual studied and perfected the art of the bank robbery. Never getting caught, yet still went to prison about 5 months after their last robbery because they turned themselves in. They served 3 years and some change.
Oh, wow. That's it? For federal crimes of bank robbery?
Yeah.
You would have to be a cop to know all that stuff. However, I feel you're gonna try to throw me off. So I'm gonna say not a cop.
Ding, ding, ding. You read right through me. Yeah. Yeah. And this one's interesting. Name was Clay Turney, I think.
Okay.
Clay Turney. And he did it solo. He studied cases where the people got caught and knew what not to do. Only demanded the 50s and the 100s from the teller, who helped.
So he never hit the vault.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wrote here myself, like, recommend looking this guy up. Yeah, Clay Turney, or Toomey, Clay Toomey.
Okay.
Sorry, my handwriting is awful. All right, number 6.
Let's do it.
2011. This person set a dozen fires that targeted officials, chiropractors, and relatives who he felt. No. This person set a dozen fires that targeted officials, chiropractors, and relatives who felt had snubbed him and was sentenced to multiple life terms in prison.
How do you get
Cop or not?
How do you get snubbed by a chiropractor? You didn't crack my L4, man. No, I cracked it. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You snubbed me? Are you snubbing me? I'll send this whole place on fire.
Cop or not?
God. This one's hard because the chiropractor's throwing me off. Like the family, the friends, politicians, or people in power, right? He is who he set fire to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then chiropractor. Maybe a chiropractor was sleeping with his wife.
And this happened in 2011. Or it started in 2011. His arson spree.
God. Yeah. If it started in 2011, and when did it go to?
It spanned for almost a decade.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
2021?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it has to be a cop or a fireman. One of the two. So I'm going to say cop.
You're going to say cop? You're correct.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Good job. David Crawford, 71, former police officer from Maryland. His arson spree spanned nearly a decade. He was sentenced this year in 2023 as we're recording this.
Dang.
He barely got sentenced this year. Yeah.
Man, poor chiropractors, man.
Number 7. 2001.
Okay.
This individual stole $5,500 worth of clothes and accessories from a high-end store.
2001.
Cop or not? That's supposed to stress you out when I do that. Cop or not?
Head of a high-end store. I just can't imagine a male police officer stealing accessories.
I said this individual.
I know you did. So I can't imagine a male cop, but I wonder if a female cop. It's a cop. It's a female cop. Because I'm a sexist asshole.
Yeah,
Good. I'm glad I'm glad I'm wrong.
This was actually Winona Ryder. And she stole from a high-end store. I think what's it called? The Saks or something? Or what's it called?
She was studying
In Beverly Hills. In Beverly Hills, yeah.
Oh.
And I wanted to work that in because, Winona Ryder, she's there in our heart. She's part of our horror community, man. That's Lydia, Beetlejuice.
She's going to be part of Beetlejuice too. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. I'm glad that one worked on you.
Yeah.
That one's so easy. He's going to be, but it's so easy that it actually worked. All right, last one, number 8. 1984.
Ooh.
In 1984, the Saturday before Christmas of all things, on a New York City subway, the subway car was making its run downtown. Two teenagers approached this person and demanded $5. Seconds later, this individual pulled out the revolver and fired 5 shots, injuring 4 young men. One left with a severed spinal cord. This individual jumps onto the tracks below after the subway car comes to a stop and disappears into the darkness of the subway tunnel. Sounds cool, huh? Disappears into the darkness of the subway tunnel.
Does he get caught? If we don't know if he gets caught or not, how do we know if he's a cop or not?
Cop or not?
I'm gonna say no because he didn't get caught.
Good job, ding ding ding. Yes, this and of all the things I said today on this quiz, this would be the one to look up the most. His name was Bernard Goetz. Yeah, Goetz, 37, dubbed the Subway Vigilante by the newspapers. He had been mugged before and decided to take matters into his own hands and started carrying that thang on him, dude. Ooh, he was like, he got mugged before, and he's like, fuck it. It was the 80s in New York. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole on this one. Definitely look into this one. This was an interesting case because at first the public was with him. They're like, yeah, that's enough for that. And then they found out that he was kind of like a piece of shit during the trial. Very Bernard Goetz, or I don't know how you would say that. Goetz, 37 years old.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, that was good. I love
so there you go. You won the game. Let's see, you only got. You know what? You got 3 wrong. Can I say something?
Yeah.
When I was making this quiz, I kept quizzing Erica, my wife.
Yeah.
I kept coming up to her while she's like getting ready, and I'm like, "Hey, okay, cop or not?" And she's like, "What the fuck?" She got them all right, every single one of them, except for I forgot which one. She got like 1 wrong. So I was like, "Fuck!" I go, "Should I redo my quiz?" Like, I was all fucking stressed out.
Right.
So I'm glad that you got at least 3 wrong. That makes me happy.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that kind of stuff because when you're here and you're being recorded on the mic, it's different. It's different. Just like you're just putting on makeup. You're like, she's probably just guessing. She's like, oh, good not. Didn't even care about her answers.
And the one time she did get it wrong, because I'm such a sensitive bitch, I was like, did you just give me that answer to make me feel good? That's how much of a sensitive bitch I am. She's like, no, you actually stumped me. Good job. I was like, all right, cool.
So I have not been listening this whole time.
She's like, he's not gonna get them all. So there you go. That was Cop or Not. That was a fun game.
All right, awesome. And that concludes the end of our podcast. Do you want to go ahead and sign us off, Derek?
Remember, everybody, you're not above anybody until you're 6 feet under. Good night, everybody.
Good night.